Good question. If I got into a trade, what would it be and why? Obviously, I'm an electrician, so one would think I would be biased to say, become electrician, become electrician. Now, I'm not saying to not become electrician. I'm saying, electrician's good, become electrical tester is good. But really and truly, I think the best trade to get into is probably plumbing. Because if you think about it logically, I'm not talking about plumbing on a high level. I'm not talking about like industrial level plumbing. When I'm talking about electrics, when I'm talking about plumbing, I'm talking about domestic, household stuff. Think about this. Think about your time on planet Earth. Yeah? You may be 20, you may be 26, you may be 32. Think about all the houses and properties you've lived in. Whether you've owned it, whether your parents owned it, doesn't matter. Any properties that you've occupied. Think about this. Think about how many times you've had to call an electrician to sort out a problem. And think about how many times a plumber / a gas engineer has to come out and sort out a problem. You see, gas engineers are actually plumbers. To become a gas engineer, you first need to become a plumber. Now, that's 99%, that's 95% of gas engineers. Is there going to be 1 or 2 or 5% of gas engineers that just go straight into gas? They don't become a plumber first? Yeah. But for the most part, 95% of gas engineers learn plumbing first. You have to. How are you going to understand how the radiator pipes work if you don't understand plumbing? So think about it this way. Think about how many times an electrician has come to your yard. Doesn't matter who owned it, doesn't matter. How many times electricians come to your yard as opposed to a plumber? Think about it. Plumbing is very problematic. How many times have you had a tap that's not opening up properly, or is like spitting water out, or doesn't shut off properly, so it's dripping? How many times think about it right now, yeah? When you turn on the heating when the heating's cold, when the pipes are cold, doesn't the plumbing pipes, the heating pipes make a little bit of a rattling sound every now and then, some of them? That's a plumbing problem. You're not going to call a fucking electrician out for that. I've got it in this house right now. I know how to fix it. It's just the pipes need clipping. They're unsecure. So when the hot water's traveling through the pipe and that, the expansion is making it rattle. But most people don't know that. So most people don't even know how to rectify it, let alone know why that's being caused and that. So plumbing is probably the better trade to get into. There's a lot of problems with plumbing. I went to a tenant's house, some woman from Tanzania. And I can't remember what we was talking about, but I think she said, "Oh, what do you think is a better trade to get into?" Because I told her that I was fitting a bathtub. So recently they've been fitting a bathtub at my other property and that. And she was like, "Oh, so you know how to do plumbing as well?" Like, I think she asked if I'm a plumber. I said, "Nah, I just learned how to do it off of YouTube and that." And I think she said, "Oh, what's the better trade to get into?" And I said to her, "Well, let's think about it right now. How many times has someone come to fix this electric box," referring to the consumer unit? "How many times has someone come to fix this electric box as opposed to that boiler or any taps or pipes in the house?" And she was like, "No one's ever come to fix this electric box, but people have come around plenty of times to fix that boiler and leaking pipes and leaking taps and that." So there's your answer right there. With plumbing, there's more maintenance, there's more call outs. It is a more problematic trade. So therefore, you're going to be in work more. Imagine, yeah, you're in a business where nothing ever goes wrong with this product or this appliance, whatever. You're not really going to be in business. You ain't going to have business like that. You have to keep relying on new customers. Whereas if you're in a business where, like, you manufacture Peugeots and that, where they fucking break down all the time. There's a rumor. You spend 15,000 on a Peugeot and then you spend 30,000 fixing the fucking Peugeot and that. So yeah, plumbing is probably the better trade to get into. Obviously you don't want to be dealing with dirty toilets and shit like that. I'm hearing that man have to get tetanus or some sort of shots and that so they don't catch diseases and that. But yeah, plumbing is probably the better trade to get into because it's more problematic. So therefore there's going to be more call outs. Anyway, man, that's it for today, man. Stay away. I don't know.